don't know if you can hear that. It's my neighbor blowing leaves. Like 4 houses down. Man, that thing is loud. This January 6th. Blowing leaves? Welcome back, guys. This is Mike with Ace Cafe Bikes, and today, since it is such a nice day and it's the first full video of 2024, I thought we'd do an inventory of the bikes that we got. So I got them all out of the garage. Why not? No snow, and I need to clean the garage, so that was kind of another thing. But anyway, I thought we'd take a little trip down memory lane, talk a little bit about how we got the bikes we got and what we plan to do with them. So let's start with the first one. A lot of people may think a bunch of junk, but this is not junk. This, if you're new here, was our first build. A 1980 Suzuki GS850. This guy was a lot of fun to do. I did this with my son Chase and some help with our daughters. And it's just awesome. Awesome. I love it. We're not going to change anything on this bike. It's going to be stamped, the old number 1 as history. I love it. Down the aisle here, a 1981 GL500, Honda GL500. This is also a real fun bike. We got this bike about 3 years ago. It was the full kit. Had top bags, side bags, fairing. Stripped all that off to make it into this mean looking machine that we're trying to show. This is my sister's bike, and we pulled off of this primarily because this. Yes, right. I got a little bit shook up trying to dive into the electrics. You know, it's just, I mean, that shakes up a lot of people. So I got frustrated, took a break, which I ended up being now about 2.5 years. This guy is I think a 79 Yamaha XV250, and if you got a keen eye, you can probably see why this bike doesn't run. Other than missing a lot of things to make it run, the carburetor is upside down. But I don't think turning the carburetor upright will make that bike go. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this guy. We got this guy with a trade. We traded a guy near the end of 2023 when I thought I was done moving bikes. A couple of CBRs, 2 that kind of were probably okay, and then 1 that was a parts bike. So 3 CBRs for this bike and for that bike. An 82 Honda Goldwing Aspencade, which he got in a trade. So looking at this bike, which I haven't done a lot yet, but there's a lot of things interesting about this bike to have been claimed that it ran a year ago. He said the guy kind of started diving into it. For what reason? Unknown. But there's so many things missing that it's just very strange. Like this. Why would your oil cap be missing? I don't know. Some of the stuff I kind of like that front piece of the fairing I've taken off. But most of it is his doing. Like, I don't know what's going on down in this area. It's missing the passenger peg and the driver peg. It's missing the starter solenoid. It's only got 1 really good motor mount. Yeah, I'm not sure what the story is on that bike, but the good news is shortly after we traded for this bike, this guy. Now this looks worse than it is, I think. That we got all the stuff for it. We've taken the top kit and the side bags off. We've taken the seat off, taken the tank display off, or whatever you want to call it. It's the fake tank to get to this. And the main reason why is because we tried to get this thing to run. The choke actuates really nice. So I'm not sure Initially I thought, it's probably not too seized up. The throttle doesn't move it hardly at all. So I don't know if you remember, but we had a short that showed how disgusting the fuel was and how bad the tank is. So it's got me wondering, sorry, this is an 83 stock standard. This is an 82 Aspencade. And only thing I really see that's different is they're both 1100s. This has just got a lot of chrome, right? So it's got chrome covering up the calipers. It's got chrome covers, a lot of ridiculous extra bits, probably just to make it more expensive. The seats are actually the same, but the bags here are different. These are much classier looking bags. This is different. This has got an air compressor inside instead of just stock air ride suspension still, but not onboard air compressor. I don't know, it's just so different than the kit they had on the 83 than they've done on the 82. But I think engine wise, a lot of the pieces are going to be compatible. So that's the plan here. We're going to take that carburetor out, we're going to take that carburetor out, and we're going to see what's what, see what we can do to make one of these go. This is going to be a cafe build. I've dreamt of doing one of these for a long time, and I think these two candidates are both titled bikes, so I don't think it matters which one we really go with as far as the pieces we put together. There's some things that I like. There's some things I like about this bike and there's some things I like about this bike. Like I like the chrome on this. I like the wheels. We'll go around. I like the wheels on this one. That looks better than the Comstars. So I think we got, pretty good two bikes that are pretty well all there. I know this one, I know this bike is all here from the guy talking to him. He just parked it, and for a while he parked it, he had a knee surgery on both knees and he just couldn't get on it anymore, but he'd go out every month or so and just kind of start let it run. I don't know when he ceased doing that, but that it's kind of scary how bad that tank is. I've never seen one quite grotesque as that. But anyway, this bike is not junk either, I hope. We got this bike in the fall of 22, and that was going to be a project. Initially, I was going to turn this into a cafe bike, but I think it's way too nice. This bike is way too nice to start chopping up. It presumably has been well taken care of. The only thing that we know we need to address immediately is the brake calipers were seized up, so we had to disconnect those so we could move it. But it's got 37,000 miles. It's got a battery in it that actually has a bit of juice, which is a shocker. It's got nice bags. The compartments look very nice. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. I'll try you. Very nice and clean. They all kind of look this way. Just well maintained. Now, the idea behind this bike is we're going to turn that into our daily rider type of machine. Chase and I are going to ride on that on our 2024 adventures. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Nothing like getting interrupted when you're making a video. Yeah, I love that. Where were we? Ah, yes. The Suzuki. So this is a GS1100GK, a 1984. I don't know a lot about the history of this particular bike, but I think the plan, Suzuki, they were in the race to make a bike like that. They already had the platform here, so they just kind of threw some kit on it to make it this bike while they were producing the Cavalcade. So this isn't very popular. There isn't very many of these around. But I think this is a great example, and I'm really looking forward to getting this bike running. I think that's where I'm going to start focusing my attention so that we know for sure that we have a good bike to run around on in 2024. Now, we got one more bike out here, and then we got a bike inside, and they both belong to the other star. The other star or the star? Yeah, we'll go with the star of the show, especially for this year. So this is a 1979 Honda. I think it's an XR80. But Chase, we picked this up this year, and he's just absolutely loved it. I got this bike for him as a surprise because he had mini bikes, and maybe I'm a softie, I don't know, but we went from small mini bike to big mini bike to now this bike that has a clutch, and I just really felt like that was a good transition for him to go. Maybe, you know, he's 12 now, maybe we should have started with a clutch when he was 8. I don't know. I was really worried that he wouldn't be able to do it. Got on it, never stalled or anything. He did pop a wheelie, which I thought would freak him out, but it didn't. Just let her rip. So that bike needs a little bit of tweaking. It needs the carbs clean. It needs a little bit of tuning, and it needs some new tires. Chain needs to be tightened, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm thrilled that he just took off with it. So there we go. That's the bikes that we got. I'm gonna go be the guy to say those might be okay, might be junk. It's kind of gonna be wishy-washy. This guy, that's gonna be, I would say, junk. That's a project that's gonna be done this year. This is my baby at the moment, and this guy, I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna come of him. Let's go take a look inside the garage. Okay. Okay. Brace yourself. What you're about to see might surprise some people. Look at this. 1980 Honda Hawk 400 on the table. I know. You get something cool like that and then you never even use it. Come on. We're looking like we know what we're doing now. This is going to be a lot of fun. This guy we know runs. It doesn't run that great. And I think it just suffers from the normal things, right? It's got to get cleaned up. And that's what we're going to do. But if you know what the plan is for this, then you know it's not going to stay like that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? That looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? And I just realized the radio's on. So we're trying to talk over the radio and trying to wrap this video up. So if you guys like what you see, more to come. As you can see, we've got things to dive into, and we've got some weird things that we're going to find, I'm sure. So stick around. It's going to be a fun 2024. This is Mike with Ace Cafe Bikes. We're gone.